Guys, welcome back to the Cricket Exchange. It's been a really long break and it took an epic match like the India-Pakistan one at the MCG to wake us up from our year-long slumber. What we wanted to put out in this video is the in-stadium experience. Some of us from the Cricket Exchange had the luck and privilege to be at the MCG to watch this match live. How was the stadium experience? Walk you through the initial build-up to the match, and Pakistan's innings and then India's chase and that crazy 10-ball window when things went totally batshit crazy, and then the crowd reaction, etc. That's what we wanted to put together in this video. The build-up for the match was fairly tense, and not because of any cricketing reason, but as most of you know, the Melbourne weather. So it was drizzling just the previous evening when we flew in, and we got lucky that by the time we got to the stadium, though it was cloudy, we managed to get a match through. And the entire check-in process, the baggage screening was top-notch. I would give it a 10 on 10. We managed to get in, got to our stands. And once you get into the stands, I mean, that's like an absolutely surreal experience, right? You see 90,000 plus fans, fully packed. And when you look down on the stadium, I mean, it's a totally awe-inspiring and intimidating experience. Some of the reactions that you get are like, how the hell are players ever going to hit, across the boundary line in a stadium as massive as this, right? That's the first thing which hits you. And then, of course, for all those skeptics who are like, oh, why do you want to go to the stadium? Isn't it crowded? And, you can't really follow the game. The ball is like blink and a miss. I'll tell you what, just go there just for the national anthem. When they play the national anthem and when you get to the last, Jaya He, Jaya He, I mean, there will not be a single soul who doesn't get goosebumps for that, right? You even saw the reaction of Rohit Sharma when we reached that part. So the build-up was absolutely stellar. We got to our seats and we were all excited for a good game to begin. So the match starts, we win the toss. The two big guns, Rizwan and Babar, gone fairly cheaply. Totally dream start. And somehow, I mean, through the course of the thing, we managed to get them down to 120 for 7. Even the scare-inducing Asif Ali gets out fairly cheaply for a superb short ball from Arshdeep Singh. And all of us are very excited. And a couple of things that happened in that innings. Just when I thought that India has done a good job and, I think Shan Masood and Iftikhar were batting, I decided to take a washroom break. And I did my job and I was coming out and I heard people roaring and cheering a couple of times, right? And I wasn't able to figure out, is this a wicket or a six? It turns out it was that one over from Akshar Patel when Iftikhar went after him, got 3 sixes in that over. It was that over. And the interesting bit was that most of the India matches that I have watched in the stadium are fairly dominated by India, or there are a lot of Indian fans, right? So you broadly know that if you hear a lot of noise, it logically means India is doing well. But this was a very different experience because I think the stadium was almost half full of Pakistani fans. I don't have the stats. So throughout the match, as you know, it was a topsy-turvy match. Either India was doing well or Pakistan was doing well. So you never had a moment when the stadium was quiet, which is what happens when, let's say, it's a stadium full of Indian fans and, Indian wickets fall. You hear that hush. So you never really got that period of silence throughout the match. That was one very unique thing. The second thing was that, again, because a lot of matches have Indian fans and they are the majority, you don't really get a sense of what the opposition fans must be feeling. I don't know if it was luck or what, but the section that we were in was literally an away part of the stadium, right? Fully surrounded by Pakistani fans. Some of them even had vuvuzelas and green wigs and so very vocal. People walking in with kids, families. kids dangling from shoulders and all of that, right? So very exciting sort of a build-up, even during the match. And then the Indian innings, as expected, and to our worst nightmare, we lose our top order. I had a lot of hope and I was banking on Sky, but then he got out to a very similar shot to that express pace of Harris Rauf. To be in the stadium and to witness him bowl that kind of bowling, you really get a sense of how fast that guy can really be, right? So before we know, we are like 30 odd for 4. And I was expecting Hardik to kind of take the initiative a lot early, and to our utter frustration, he and Kohli just played super slowly, right? And I've been a big critic of Virat over the last couple of years, and all through that match, I was like, like whispering to my brother who's sitting next to me that, you know what, dude, Virat's really, just nudging and prodding. He's just dragging us down. There's no way to go after a chase. Do they even know like the kind of bowling Pakistan has at the death? There's no way you're going to get like 60 off the last 5 overs. They got to go now. They got to hit. None of that happens. These guys just keep taking their singles. In fact, even in the 15th and 16th over, right, we just managed to get 5 and 6. And we reached that super dreaded last 3 over mark. 48 runs required of 3 with 2 overs left, one with Shaheen Shah Afridi and Harris Rauf. I kid you not, with all the evidence that we'd seen, there's no way in hell, absolutely no way in hell that I imagined what would happen after that in the last 3 overs. Last 3 overs, 48 required. We get 17 runs out of Shaheen Shah Afridi. And as is a very fashionable thing to do these days, cricketers talk about, I want to express myself. I thought, hey, as a fan, maybe I should express myself as well. So my celebration mode went from just, very silent finger pointing and yes, yes, to fist pumps, yes, yes, yes. And then finally it went like, come on! I mean, the last 2 overs, I don't remember having a civil, intelligent conversation with anyone around me. All I did when Virat went crazy and kept getting those runs was I kept shouting, come on, right? And mind you, it was super cold in Melbourne. And as a person, I'm very cautious about, and I'm a delicate darling. Oh, my throat, and I was like wearing a hoodie and a beanie, all covered up and all that. And when we started getting those runs, I mean, I just went absolutely berserk, right? Usually, when you are 99.9% of the time, most of us are very well behaved. We're very civil. We're very mindful of people around us. But I just decided that, this is a once in a lifetime thing which is happening, unfolding in front of my eyes. So I mean, at the winning run, I actually took my glasses off, took off my neck warmer, took off my jacket, took off my t-shirt, freezing Melbourne weather. And I'm like running around like a real mad guy, fist pumping, throat is totally in ruptures, crazy batshit stuff. I ran around, I run to the other stand. I meet my friend Vikas and his son Tanuj, who've also flown in from Singapore. We hug each other very tightly, and then I run back again and I'm like celebrating, like literally jumping over chairs and all that. I mean, I tell you not, I mean, it's one of the most surreal and, visceral moments of my life as a fan. To just add on a serious note before we wrap up this video, one is our ground fielding that we saw at the MCG. Maybe it had to do with the weather. It was really cold. Unless you're there, you not really realize how cold it can be. So people take slightly slower starts. That catch of Ashwin, which he took a bump catch of Shan Masood, he started just a wee bit slower, right? We could see that we were right in the same stand. The second was Virat missed that run out. So I'm hoping that as the tournament progresses, our fielding and catching and run out especially gets better. That's going to be very crucial. Second is we were all super thrilled for Shami. imagine a guy for months, he just hasn't played any game, gets COVID, gets in, and he bowls a fabulous spell, right? He in fact got us back into the game when he got the dangerous Iftikhar LBW. That sound of the ball thudding into Iftikhar's pads. I mean, despite 90,000 crazy fans, every one of them could hear it. And third thing is, I think a lot of people have spoken about KL Rahul's intent. We felt that as well. It's the ball is literally going zoop zoop zoop, right? And the field is, you got superb field restrictions, advantages to a batsman. As a fan just sitting there, you're just wondering, I mean, why can't this guy just swing through the line? Even if he gets an edge, he'll get a 4 or a 6. He didn't do that. I think he spread a lot of, sorry to use that word, negative energy. And I'm hoping that in the fourth match, the next one, which is tomorrow, against Bangladesh, he somehow gets his bearings right. That's very important. We get a fastish start. And the last thing is, Bhuvi's been good so far. Ashwin has been containing fairly well, but it's time we get our spin act together as we get towards the later half of the matches. So I leave it out here. Thanks for watching, and keep subscribing, keep watching our videos, keep giving us your love, and hopefully we get to watch a lot of matches in the stadium and keep putting out more and more content for you guys. So take care, guys. Bye.